I think I have finally let go of the disappointment of what I thought it was like. When the Holy Spirit tells you to say something or tells you to do something, you get the power to do it. We were gonna be without a place to sleep. Wait, let me put y'all on the Voo Glam real quick. They sent me these glasses that I love so much. Not only are the colors vibrant and the stones bright that make them perfect for fashion, but they are perfect for creators such as myself because they're blue light blocking lenses that protect your eyes and reduce eye strain during the use of computers, cell phones, and other electronics. Y'all know I wear my eyelashes kind of long, so my favorite part is that I'm able to blink comfortably with my eyelashes on and don't have to wear them at the tip of my nose. If you're interested in frames from Voo Glam, use my code for money off. I think I have finally let go of the disappointment of what I thought it was going to be or what I was hoping that it was going to be. If you've been watching me for a while, then you know that I was on a journey where I was homeless, moving from place to place with my son in both Tulsa and Georgia. I was homeless from May 2023 to February 2024. Not the whole time was we like not having nowhere to go. We did have Airbnbs and stuff that we was in, hotels and stuff that we was in, but towards the end of the time, we didn't have nowhere to go. So I was sharing my journey online, which is how I end up growing online on Instagram, on YouTube, because of my journey that I was in, that I was sharing. I never knew the reason why God was telling me to move or leave where I was, but I was just like, I trust God. When the Holy Spirit tells you to say something or tells you to do something, you get the power to do it as well. He gives you the desire and the power to do what pleases him. So once I finally realized, okay, this is God, it was so easy for me to get up and go, even though I didn't know what was going on. But I knew within that time, like, dang, this is who God is. Like, God really does provide. God really does do all of these things. And I have said before that I didn't know who God was. I was very ignorant. I didn't grow up in the church. I mean, I prayed here and there. I never had a relationship with God. So even for me to know the word and people with the Holy Spirit, knowing that God is speaking through this girl, like, that was literally a life-changing thing that happened to me. And it wasn't there at first. I was very ignorant at first. But with me sharing my journey, it was just so many people saying, God is going to bless you with a big house, yada, yada, yada. Even though I know that God didn't say that to me, it was just like, I know I'm not doing all this for nothing. But I had to learn that faith is not about what you can get from God, but faith is about who you become. So this girl that I know, she was on the same journey with me, but she doesn't have a child. Just the other day, she posted and she was like, it's given forsaken. And when I hear the word forsaken, I just remember this one moment, this one time in my journey. And I try to remind myself, God will never forsake you, because it was because of my journey that I know who God is. So one day, once I finally ran out of money, when I first left, I left with like $3,500, I believe, $3,800, something like that. Once we finally ran out of money, I thought that we were going to be without a place to sleep. I thought that we were about to sleep in the car, and it was like, I don't know where to go. I don't know where we should go. So we just driving around all day or whatever. And I remember just stopping outside of a hotel and just crying. I'm like, God, you forsaken me. Like, I left. I did what you told me to do. You forsaken me. I feel forsaken. I feel forsaken. That same night, I ended up going to a group with some girls from the church that I was going to. And one of the girls got me and my son a hotel. The next day, one of the girls that was in the group, her cousin sent me and my son $300 or $350 or something like that. Plus, one of my aunts that I wasn't even talking to, like, we had been fell off as far as our relationship goes, she randomly sent us money. I never told nobody that we was out of money. And it was just like, dang, like, God really does provide. I never said anything to anyone. So when I hear the word forsaken, I continue to remember that one moment where I'm like, God, you forsaken me. But then I got to see, like, no, you really didn't. Like, you really are who you say you are. But I also have had to learn that God is just not a provider financially. He does provide financially, but he's still a provider of peace. He's still a provider of joy. He's still a provider of a sound mind. God provides for more than just financial issues or financial problems. But it was because of my journey that I learned who God is, that I learned who God was. And right now I'm back in my hometown. And I never expected to be back in my hometown. I believe that this is not really the place for me, but I'm learning that in order to grow in a familiar place, either you have to leave the familiar place or you have to become a different person in your familiar place. If you change your perspective and you change the people that you're around and you do the work to get around some different people and some different things, you'll be able to see some type of growth. So that's just where I am right now. I'm like, okay, my whole perspective has changed. I know that what I'm around right now is really not good. I know that it's really kind of hindering me in a way, but I'm gonna try to do it a different way. I'm gonna try to do everything that I can instead of just complaining and just being like, okay, I'm gonna leave here because I'm here and I have somewhere to sleep. My son don't have to be learning how to survive like we was. And honestly, in all honesty, it's very hard mentally being in a place that you know you're not really like, this ain't really for me. Mentally, it's difficult, especially because I feel like during the time of me and my son not having a place to stay, my son was learning about the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you've ever been uncomfortable and it made you work harder. That was me. So now me being in a comfortable place, I'm like just kind of procrastinating a little bit, but I see myself doing it because God is opening my eyes to it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to do it another way. I'm going to have to keep going. I'm going to have to keep trying. So I don't believe that my journey was for no reason, but the journey of me being homeless did not end the way that I wanted it to. I wanted it to be that God blessed me with a place to stay because I was already living somewhere. Why would you tell me to leave where I'm living? But now I know that everything about God that I learned, like I read the Bible, I'm like, okay, this is who God is, but I actually experienced who God is. So when I tell somebody God provides, I'm not telling you from a place of what I read in the Bible. I'm telling you from a place of what I've seen him actually do. Not only that, when I'm in a place right now, like, I'm not gonna lie, I can have whatever I want. Like my family, they might not have it all the time, but my family, they could be struggling, but they all gonna have what they want. I am not a person who has had to struggle. I'm not a person who knows anything about struggle. So for me to have to learn how to survive, I'm so blessed to even know how to survive. I've never had to struggle before. So now, like, there are times I might not have it, but I don't want to ask my mama for something. I've always been that way. I've always worked for everything that I had. Like, it was very hard for me to see God use people to bless us, for us to get somewhere to stay. Like, that was very difficult because I'm used to working for everything I have. Like, I lived in the house that I was in for 2 years, paying $1,900 by myself in the rent. For the rent, it's difficult to come here and just ask my mama for stuff. But there are times I might not have it. My phone bill might be due and I'm like, oh, like I gotta figure something out. But now I'm finally in this place where I'm not stressing. Like, I'm not tripping. Like, I done seen God do it before. I know God will do it again. But if it wasn't for that journey, I would be losing my mind. I believe that, you know, it was so easily confirmed with what I was feeling because my uncle came to my mama's house the other day and he just brought me a plate because my aunt had made some food, and he just sat down at the table and he was like, we haven't talked in a while, so I just want to ask you yada yada yada. And I told him, I'm like, I just believe that my journey was about me learning who God is and a place of renewing my mind or whatever. Like, it was certain things that had to get up out of me when it comes to patience and whatever. And he was like, you know what, I feel like what you learned in that journey is what I had to learn when I was in jail. And I'm like, dang, that was really a confirmation for me because I feel like God allowing anybody to go to jail is grace, period. But for you to have to go to jail and you learn about God there and you get closer to God there, that is a time where God sits you down and your mind is being renewed. I was in a place where God set me down and said, be still. Like, I was not doing nothing during that time. I was trying to podcast, but it was difficult when we didn't have nowhere to go. But during that whole time, I was in the Bible. I was waking up every single day for hours in the Bible. I was teaching my son about the Bible every single day. There was a place where I was just getting to know God. But now I see that the way they talk about things in church, where they be like, I'm gonna just say, if God tell you to leave and you leave, God will give you the house. But it's like, okay, in the Old Testament, they do talk about like the physical things, but that's only half of the truth. And half of the truth is still deception. So I'm thinking in my head that if I do what God tell me to do, then he gonna bless me. But it's bigger than that. It's bigger than just the physical things. And at some point, God is gonna tell you stop resting and start pressing. Like, it's not just about reading the Bible and just being in your word. Like, at some point you gotta do something, but there will be a time that God tells you just rest. Just trust me. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, but rest means something different for everybody. So basically, I just said all that to say that, okay, so there's this song by Tim's. On Instagram, if you play the song, it says, I let go of my sins. Now I'm trying to find my wings. I don't know if she said sins, but when she says now I'm trying to find my wings, I feel like that's where I am. Because I'm noticing that even though my inner man was saved, like I was saved by grace through faith, my spirit changed, my heart posture changed, but I'm still not the person who I'm supposed to be. Because I'm learning that we're being sanctified our entire lives. We have to continue to change our entire lives. But not only that, I'm still Mia. I'm still me. I'm still the girl who knows how to dress. I'm still the girl who knows how to do hair and makeup. I'm still that girl. I'm still who God created me to be. But I'm not doing those things because my mind is so stuck at being a word, being a word, being a word. But there's more to life than that. So now I just believe that God has me in a place where it's time to execute. Like, you was sitting in a place where you was just resting in me. You was sitting in a place where you was just getting to know me, but you know who I am now. You have so much evidence of who I am. So you can go on and live life knowing who I am. So I've been struggling because of the disappointment of what I wanted it to be. I've been struggling with just kind of like living life. I went through a place where I was resting and I was learning who God is, but I wasn't living life. I was stuck. I was sitting. I was not doing anything because I was trying to figure out what the heck is going on and trying to figure out who God is and what he's telling me to do and yada, yada, yada. But now I see that I still have to live life, but don't live life absent of God. Live life still with God. It's just a struggle because it's like at that time when I was resting, when my spirit was renewed, I was thinking that God was going to tell me every single thing to do. And it's not like that now. So I'm just like, I really want to be a robot because I don't trust me. I don't trust the decisions I make, and I do stupid stuff sometimes. And I be acting like I don't see what I see when I know I see it sometimes. So I just want God to just like tell me every little thing to do or whatever, but it's not like that. But I know who God has called me to be, and I know what God has put on me to do. And I know that I'm an entrepreneur. Like, I know how to do so much stuff that is so difficult with me doing social media because I'm like, okay, people know me for this journey that I was on. People know me for talking about God, but I don't just speak. I know how to do hair. I know how to do makeup. I know how to dress. I know how to do a lot of different things. So I grew on this social media and I was frustrated with the fact that I'm like, okay, I see all these numbers and all this engagement, but I don't see no money. So at one point I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't worry about the money. Maybe I'm doing the wrong thing by worrying about the money. But I feel like I'm in this place right now where I'm in my hometown and people always want me to do something for free. But then it just gets to a point where if I'm always doing everything for everybody for free, how do I survive? So I feel like God has allowed me to feel that way for me to know it's not a sin for you to make money. You still have to make money. So with everything being said or whatever, I believe that I'm being called into this influencer route, but that's not really what I was going for. That's just kind of what called me. So I get all these free packages and stuff. I get different stuff from people and stuff like that. And I was trying to deny what I was seeing. I was trying to deny those things and just like, oh, they sent me something free, but no, babe, we still want you to promote it or whatever. And I just love creating content as it is. So I guess I said all that to say that I'm trying to find my wings and I'm trying to still be who God made me to be, while not forgetting who he is, while not forgetting that my life is for his glory. And because I know that God called me into entrepreneurship, I'm in a place where I'm really having to do it on my own. Like, I have friends out here, but ain't nobody doing it. Ain't nobody doing it where they can teach me. I'm finally getting up and going places by myself. Ain't nobody doing it where all I know is people who speak hypothetically. And the word says all hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads to poverty. And I feel like my whole environment is mere talk. It leads to poverty. Ain't nobody doing nothing. So I'm finally at the place where I'm getting up and I'm going places by myself and I'm trying to go do stuff by myself. Like, I don't want to sit in this, but if this is where I have to be in this moment, I'm going to try to make the best out of it. So basically, I'm going to be taking y'all on my journey of trying to find my wings. Like, at first the journey was getting to know God. At first the journey was I know who God is. At first the journey was just about spreading the word, but now it's me trying to find my wings while not forgetting who God is. So I'm going to take y'all on this journey with me of I'm not going to say just being an influencer, but being an entrepreneur. Like, at some point, things have to take off if I don't give up. If I continue to have faith that God is going to do it for me too. If I continue to hope and believe that God is going to do it for me too. But it's just difficult and I'm trying to find my wings because I don't have no guidance other than God. But God still wants me to make some decisions for myself. God still wants me to take some risks for myself. So this is a new series. And the series is called The Rebrand. So what I plan on doing from this point forward is finding different people who are either on their journey of trying to find their wings or they were in that place before and they have a story to tell. That's what I'm going to start doing as far as podcasting goes. I didn't give up on this. I'm still going to be doing the videos, the vlogs, speaking over them with certain words that I get, but this is going to be like a series. This is going to be until I feel like I'm in a certain place. I'm going to be speaking to entrepreneurs, people that know that they have been called to entrepreneurship and they have a story to tell, or they're just trying to figure it out and we all trying to figure it out together, because I feel like that's what I'm in Houston, and I feel like that's all that's in Houston. I feel like the people that come to Houston from somewhere else are the people really doing stuff. But the people who are from Houston, they ain't really doing nothing. So follow me in this journey of trying to find my wings. Hopefully the people that I bring here, hopefully the stories that someone else tells will help you, while I'm trying to get it to help me too. While we all trying to help each other, while we all trying to figure it out together. Because I definitely just feel like I'm in a place where I have to figure it out. God is not as loud as he used to be. God is more like God giving me the desires of my heart instead of him just being loud now. So I'm not going to give y'all I'm not going to be like, oh, every Tuesday I'm going to do this, because I know myself and I be doing a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm not even going to lie. Because I would be lying if I told y'all I'm gonna try to do something every day. But I'm gonna try to find some people who want to come sit and talk to y'all with me. And maybe this series will be for you. But we're trying to find our wings, okay?